Okay, we're going to be working on this assignment that says superheroes, exclamation point assignment. It's a bunch of practice problems finding work and power. So before we get started, let's go ahead and remind ourselves of the formulas we're going to be using. You might want to write them at the top. First of all, work equals force times distance. Remember, when we put two numbers just right next to each other like that, it means times. Work equals force times distance. The other formula we're going to be using, mostly on the back, is that power equals work over time. Okay? I'm going to be doing these kind of out of order. I'm going to do two examples with you. I'm going to leave the more straightforward examples for you to do on your own. So I'm actually going to start with number 2. Number 2 says Batman uses 20,500 joules to stop the Joker with his bat rope. If it took 25 meters to stop the Joker, how much force did Batman use? Okay, first of all, I have this number that's labeled with a J for joules. If we look at our word wall, joules is what we measure work with. So that is going to be W, work. I also have this amount that's in meters. If I look on here, I'm going to look in the units column, meters. That's what I measure distance in. So that's going to be lowercase d for distance. And how much force did Batman use? The letter that I use for force is capital F, and my answer is going to eventually be in newtons. So what I'm looking for is force. Okay? So what are my givens here? Well, I've got this 20,500 joules is my work, and I have 25 meters is my distance. The equation I'm going to use, well, I want force, I have work, I have distance. Out of these two, this is the one that has all those things in it. So I'm going to use work equals force times distance. Substitution, that's where I'm going to plug these numbers in. So I'm going to rewrite this, but instead of writing a W, I'm going to write this number, 20,500 equals force, F. I don't know that, so I'm just going to write the letter F for now. And then D, instead of writing the letter D, I'm going to write the number 25. Okay. So I want to solve for F. Right now I have F times 25. I want to get F by itself, so that means I need to divide by 25 so that these will cancel out. And if I do that over here, I've got to do it over here. So F is going to equal 20,500 divided by 25. Let me plug that into my calculator. 20500 divided by 25. 820 is my answer. F equals 820. My answer is 820, and let's throw some units on there. I was looking for force. Force is measured in newtons. 820 newtons. That's my answer. All right. If you flip over to the back of your worksheet, I also want to go over number 6. Again, number 5 is pretty straightforward, so I'll leave that to you. So make sure you're doing number 6 with me now. It says Mr. Freeze has an ice machine to freeze Batman that uses 250 watts of power. If the machine runs for 500 seconds, How much work did the ice machine perform? Let's look back at our word wall. I've got 250 watts. Watts. Don't be confused by the fact that we have two W's. That's a unit. Watts is what we measure power in. So this is P for power. 500 seconds. Seconds. That's what I measure time in. That's going to be lowercase t for time. And I want to find work. Okay. So my givens then, I've got 250 is my power. I've got 500 is my time. My equation, this time I have power. No, yeah, I have power. I have time. I want work. This is the formula that has all that stuff in it. This one doesn't have power, so I can't use it. So power equals work over time. Okay, that's a T. My substitution is where I'm going to rewrite this with these numbers plugged in. So instead of where the P goes, I'm going to write this 250. W, I do not know. I don't know work, so I'm just going to write a W. And T is 500. All right. I'm going to have to do some algebra because I want W by itself. This is W divided by 500, so how can I undo division? I'm going to multiply by 500. That'll cancel these out, so I'll just get W. And if I do that on this side, I've got to do it on this side too. So I'm going to do 250 times 500. Let me plug that into my calculator. 250 times 500. 125,000. $125,000. So my answer, 125, 1, 2, 3. And this is power. No, this is work that I've solved for. This is work. Work is measured in joules, so I'm going to label it with a J. All right, good luck on the rest of this worksheet. Call me over if you need help from me.